Have you seen a perfect leader yet?
I've seen,
or is there something called a perfect?
I've seen a perfect leader, yes. I'm a strong believer of our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. It's not only my statement to him. Those who study the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in a very, very close, have decided that he has almost 57 qualities of leadership, which all the business schools worldwide, they have tried together what is the qualities of the leadership, and they came up to almost together when they summed them up, about 57 qualities. And Michael Hart is American Jewish historian, back in 1978, has written a great book. That book has sold more than 5 million copies so far of that book, and that book still exists, called The 100 Influential Persons in the History. And he put Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, on the first. And he said, I know that is going to be a very, very big debated point, being being a Jewish and being against the Christians and the other leaders who made in the scientific turn and other. But he said, this is a very fair assessment. After studying his life, I came to know that, yes, he possesses all those leadership qualities. So I strongly believe on that. And a person who keeps learning. Myself, I believe even the office boys around here, even those who, have low-key positions, as we say, they do have a leadership qualities within themselves.
Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, had 57 qualities of leadership. Can you tell me, Nuthan, one quality which you consider the most important in a leader?
Ability to take a decision.
To take a decision.
Even I believe Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as a perfect leader. Even when we are doing the business, I take the reference of how he used to do the business and how he used to talk to the people and the ways of creating leaders for tomorrow.
Can you tell me one quality amongst this?
Yeah, he had advised that when you want your children to be a leader, never have an harsh behavior.
A leader should not be harsh.
Yeah.
Dolly, one characteristic of a leader you think is very important?
Yes, I've thought about it. I guess after thinking a lot, one quality a leader should possess is persistence. Yes, I think after taking a decision, the leader should stick through the goal. There might not be an easier way out. The followers might not follow you after some time. So the leader, if he's very sure about the goal, I guess he should stick on to it.
Persistence, she says. Have you had failures in your 10 years as DG in your life?
Very much. I mean, I wouldn't see a leader without making mistakes and sits back. It's always there. Because at the end of the day, we're a human being. We're not aliens coming from outside the world and try to make a difference in the societies. I did, but when you live the vision, you can easily come back over the situation. Because one of the leadership qualities I strongly believe in, flexibility and adaptability. That you're very flexible, that it depends on the situation, you can really move around. And then adaptability of the change. If there's a change, you know how to deal with that change. And this is the most important thing. And again, persistence. You have to keep hitting hard, keep moving forward, because you have the vision with you. So you don't fall apart.
So leaders make mistakes.
Leaders do make mistakes. That is how they come up and become leaders. Without failures, you can't get onto a success. You got to experience one failure or two failures and then build up from that.
We normally associate leaders with power.
Yeah.
You think that is the characteristic of a leader?
I don't think. It's all about your quality, character, how you are talking, how you are making the followers understand, how you are motivating them, how it helps the follower to self-motivate yourself. It all depends on that. See, only having the power
What do you think is the most powerful power that a leader has? To my mind, it's the power. The leader's power is the power to influence people.
Right.
The power to convince them,
communicate
and influence them.
Communication, because they say great leaders are great communicators, by all means. Yet you need the power. You need your followers should know that you're really strong enough. You can defend them, you can protect them. So you need to have the physical evidence that you're really strong enough first. Second, leadership is about communication. And communication, you need to understand the way how your followers, accept the statement or the vision you say, because not of them are good listeners, right? So sometimes you need to use the body language to convince them of a certain way to communicate a certain message. So leadership is about qualities, not even in the communication. I call it communication management, because you have to manage your communication when you communicate a certain message, because not all the three or all four of us now we get what I said at the same time. You know, the body language itself, the facial expression, the tone of my speech is very important. So it's about managing your communication, I should say.
It's not communication only, it's managing communication.
Right. When you talk about power, it's again relative. It could be different power statements that you put across. For example, for a tyrannical leader, it could be a physical power. For a democratic leader, it could be power of vision. It could be a power of strategy for a business leader. So it differs.
Does democracy produce good leaders, or does heredity produce good? Does democracy produce rabble-rousers who fool you for some time and then move on? Do you think democracy is a breeding ground for producing good leaders or not?
See, we have the good leaders as politicians. We have the worst leaders also. So, see, if you are a fake leader, today or tomorrow, people will come to know. So, if you are a good leader, even if you have left the world, like doctor said, the grave speaks.
Grave speaks.
On the other hand-
Democracy is a minority representation of a majority sentiment. A leader need not follow the majority sentiment. He must be able to see far beyond it. So democracy, I do not think, is the best place for leadership skills. It is for managing expectations.
There is no particular best place for breeding a leader. Definitely democratic leaders we do have. However, I kind of feel that the people who chooses and votes this leader as a democratic leader, they also play a part of being leaders by themselves. So everybody have that quality, that innate quality in them to come up and being a leader.
You come from a country where there are no democratic leaders. There's hardly any democracy.
Right.
So do you think a leader who's born into the family makes a better leader than a leader who is thrown up through a democratic process?
It is a better leader, well, for one reason, because based on the culture now, the one who leads the country there is the best among that royal family. It's not that someone who comes and says, I am the person for this position. He just can't nominate himself. The family council actually will select the best one who fits for this position. And it's been here for the last more than 500 years now. So this is something, a working model. It's not that something that, we feel bad about it so far. But again, that is bad.
About it.
We're very good about it. Because
what about the Arab Spring? The Arab Spring was an effort at democracy, but it seems to have failed throwing up good leaders.
Again, right from the beginning, because everything starts with a vision. What was the vision for? Is that about creating a change, or creating a difference, or just moving those who were in a leadership position and they were failing to lead their country?
Look at Tunisia, look at Egypt.
They were considered as the democratic countries earlier because they go through election process, right? So the leaders who were moved, actually they were selected by the people. So how come they were moved, thrown out again? Because they were faking the leadership, as we just spoke now. Because down the road, after 30 years, the people discovered that this leader who was promising so much to give to the society and the country, and so much wealth, that people are sitting outside his door waiting for jobs, seeking jobs. So they're no job creators, they're just job seekers. And that is the main reason why the Arab Spring has happened. But again, happened because they wanted to have a change, but without a vision, and that's why they're really scrambling here and there now.
Do you think each culture throws up different leaders? The culture that we have in Arabian countries is different from the culture we have in India. So each culture produces different sets of leaders, different characteristics. People with different characteristics become leaders.
Definitely, because it depends on different culture and the different origin. Like if you go to Arabia, the Middle East, the system is different. And if you go to China, again the system is entirely different. But they are developed. They are developed more than India. So we have a different democratic system. So it differs.
Why is there this gender bias in leadership? Why are so few women leaders?
I kind of feel that we do see women leaders a lot. You look at any
Seriously,
household.
not so many.
If you look at any household, it's all leaders out there.
That's right, in the household.
Yes, when you look at the social and cultural phenomenon in outside
Political,
the scenario,
religious leaders.
yes, there we do have less women leaders. Why? Because women are still coming into picture, coming outside. It's a little slow that women are coming outside. But when you look at the statistics, there is some 30-40% increase, incremental of women coming.
What do you say? Men or women make good leaders?
I wouldn't say that, it is gender biased. Anyone can choose to be a good leader. However, women by the biology are more nurturing. So they might be more interested in the emotional health, whereas men are more into, they are the hunter-gatherers. They are more into going out there doing something. But if you need something that is balanced, you will need somebody who is balanced within themselves, comfortable with the masculine and the feminine side within themselves.
Dr. Rashid, what do you say? You think women make better leaders than men?
Well, I would agree with the panelist here. I mean, leaders created from the home itself, I would say, and the household, the wife, the mother, the sister in the home. By all means, she contributes because she creates the environment for the leader really to have his leadership environment. And I would agree that probably some of them, we know throughout the history, I really don't have a justification or why, but yes, they are great. I mean, you go throughout the history, there's so many good names are written and they've been thousands of years around us, yes.
No matter how many strides we've taken over the years, as a female, you still have certain people lovingly pulling you back. So when you have to break all that and go out there, it's not easy. It's much easier being a man.
Lovingly pulling you back. That's interesting.
I would support her because there are more challenges and struggles a woman has to face when they get into public, more than what men face.
Any of you have children, daughters? You have a daughter.
I do have
You
a
won't
daughter.
lovingly pull her back, would you?
I know, I'm really the one who's pushing her forward to come and really.
Let me ask two final
Right,
questions.
please.
Do we need leaders?
We do need, certainly we do.
Can't we have a world without leaders where everybody is?
Will be difficult.
Will be difficult.
The way how the human kind created this, we need leadership.
And finally, my own point of view, we talked about so many different characteristics a leader has. To my mind, the greatest characteristic a leader should have is love. Love of his followers, love of his people. Isn't love the most important characteristic?
It is one of them. Actually, there are four reasons for a better life. You need to love, to learn, leave a legacy. And love is one of the goals of life, actually.
So for all those out there, young people, who have not been lucky to be born leaders, never mind. You can train yourself and become a leader on your own right. There is that possibility for you. Thank you for watching this show. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you, Dr. Aleem, once more for being with us, coming all the way from Sharjah. Be sure to be back next week to watch the next episode of Youth Express.